So, have you ever wondered how the best fund managers decide the size they allocate to each position within their portfolio? Well, I'm going to go over two of the top investors in the world and how they actually do that. So, number one, you have Joel Greenblatt, a famous investor, value investor, who has made 50% a year returns for more than a decade, which is just huge. And the way he effectively has done it is he's oftentimes made his largest position the one that he has the most conviction in not losing money. So remember the number one rule that Warren Buffett always gives: never lose money. Rule number two, never forget rule number one. And he's really taken this to heart with his sort of portfolio, the way he builds his portfolio. So the largest position will often be one that he has the most conviction in not losing money. This could be a combination of factors such as it being a cheap company, quality business, and a stable business model with an impenetrable balance sheet. And effectively, he thinks that it's highly unlikely he's going to lose money, and if he does, his downside will be protected to a large extent. That's oftentimes where his largest positions will lie. Now, obviously, the smallest positions will oftentimes have the most uncertainty or most risk associated with it. And then you have the likes of sort of Stanley Druckenmiller, again, another world-class investor, 30% a year returns over 30 years. I believe he hasn't had even a single down year, which is just ridiculous to think about. And the way he sort of structures his portfolio is sort of on the concept of fat pitches. So he only swings when there's a really fat, juicy pitch, as he likes to say. And what he means by that is that the opportunity should be right for him to invest. So that means that it's a very high risk to reward opportunity with a very high certainty. So although he doesn't disclose how many positions ideally he has, what he will do is he will go very concentrated into a select few positions. Joel Greenblatt, on the other hand, typically has 8 to 12 positions maximum. That's his sort of ideal concentrated range. This obviously does come with risk because it is more volatile, though it's not necessarily risk if you're willing to hold through in the long term. Shorter term, it can be sort of considered more typically risky, just because he's mentioned that oftentimes within his portfolio, once every 2 years, he's noticed, of course, not a guarantee, but what he's noticed is every 1 or 2 years, his portfolio will be down 20% any given day, or any over 2-3 day period. And that's just because all it takes is 2 or 3 of his companies to have something go wrong, and voila, the stock drops massively and it impacts his portfolio. So just keep that in mind with where you're comfortable, but just a way to sort of think about how shall I frame and design my portfolio. This may be sort of a strategy that you want to take into consideration too. Thanks for listening. Any comments, please let me know. I really want to hear what you guys think as well. Thanks.